time for books. So come up to Mum or Dad and let's rock and read. Today, I'll be reading you Mending the Moon. And this is how it goes. The full moon was shining bigger and brighter than ever. So big and so bright that it was too heavy to hold itself up in the sky. The moon started to wobble. It started to shake. And out of the silent night came a sound like paper tearing, growing louder until at last there was a huge scrunch as the moon ripped away from the dark, dark sky. The moon tumbled down, down. Slowly, full of sadness, it fell towards earth. It sounded like breaking glass as it shattered. Oh, the poor old moon. Luna loved to watch the moon and the stars. That night, she saw the whole thing. "Quick, Papa!" cried Luna, shaking her grandfather awake. "The moon's fallen out of the sky and smashed into pieces. We have to help!" As they walked into the night, moon shards lay all around them, glowing day bright. They were hard and smooth and warm. They were pearly and glistening and beautiful. Not a bit like cheese. "It's like a mermaid's looking glass," whispered Luna. Do you think we can fix it and put it back in the sky, Papa?" "We have to try, my love. The moon is more important than you can imagine. Without the moon in the sky, the oceans will stop moving and the earth will start to wobble." "Then we must mend it," Luna cried. Papa nodded. "Let's gather up the pieces," he said. As they stood wondering where to start, the shadows began to move. Pairs of eyes appeared. The animals who lived on the mountain had also seen the moon fall. "Have they come to help us?" Luna whispered. "I guess they know the moon is important too," said Papa. But wait, there was a piece missing. "This always happens," huffed Luna, who didn't much like jigsaws. They scoured the mountaintop but found no more moon shards. Then Luna noticed something. "The missing piece must be in the lake," she cried. An elk leaned down to whisper to a frog at the water's edge, and the frog dove in, disappearing deep, deep down. The glow of the lake shifted and rippled. Luna held her breath, waiting. Finally, a blaze of silver burst towards the surface, and the frog reappeared with a piece of brilliant moon in his mouth. Luna thanked the frog and carried the moon shard back to the empty space. It fit perfectly. "But how shall we stick the pieces together?" asked Luna. Papa tried pasting tree sap along the broken edges, and Luna stuck them together. But it didn't work very well. Most of the stickiness ended up on Luna's hands. So the rabbits woke up the silkworms and asked them to spin for all they were worth. Luna tied their strong silvery thread to pine needles and stitched along the edges. The sewing was hard work, but the silk shone and glowed like it was made of moonlight. It was perfect for mending the moon. Eventually, the moon was back in one piece. Oh, but there were smudges and paw prints and sticky patches all over the place, Luna cried. She tried to rub off the smudges with her sleeve, but she only made it worse. Don't worry, said Papa. No one will notice. Luna wasn't so sure. Now how will we get the moon back in the sky? Asked Luna. That's the trickiest part of all, said Papa. Maybe the birds could fly the moon up, Luna asked hopefully. But instead of helping, the birds flew away. Oh dear, said Papa. Please come back, birds! Luna's voice echoed off the mountaintop. Then there was silence. Luna was about to give up hope when out of the darkness came a whooshing and a whispering of wings. The birds hadn't disappeared. They had gone to fetch help. All the birds in the entire world must have come. The largest birds surrounded the moon and edged underneath it. They bounced it on their backs and started to lift. Luna let out a big whoop of joy. The smaller birds flapped underneath, and slowly, ever so slowly, they all began to fly. Up and up until they could fly no higher. You're not at the top of the sky yet, shouted Luna. It needs to go up even more. They flapped their wings harder and harder until a great wind built up, slowly lifting the moon higher still. And finally, gently, the moon soared on the wind and landed in exactly the right spot. Thank you, birds, Luna cried out. Weren't they clever, Papa? They couldn't have done it without your help, Papa said. Oh, and remember kids, remember Mum and Dad to the sky so you can see all my books. Luna and Papa and all the animals danced around the mountaintop, together by the light of the Mending Moon. The birds swooped and fluttered in the air above. Luna felt like the luckiest girl in the world. The mountain sighed with relief, and the world felt whole again. When they finished celebrating and all the creatures had melted back into the night, Luna and Papa lingered to gaze at the sky. Oh, Papa, said Luna, the moon is beautiful, but it looks dirty. You can still see those smudges. I think, said Papa, squeezing Luna tight, that is just how it was always supposed to look. Well, thank you for joining me to read Mending the Moon. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye!